here I am, and I've got some books to talk to you about. Probably could happen, says me. Never been in space. What was I going to talk to you about? Oh, the book I picked up at the library the other day. It's just cosy. It's quite chonky, but I think it's because it's large print and I'm happy about that. I have my caterpillar cross stitch. It's time for coffee and some morning reading. My morning run includes coming to see my besties. These guys live on a farm, just like a 10-minute run from my house. And I love them! These are all coming to say hello. You're like, I'm not can't scare you. Oh, I got a big lick. Oh, these are all gorgeous babies. So I've been busy hoovering and cleaning after my run when I went to see the cows. So I'm still like this, but wait till you see. I want to show you my new bedding. This is the new bedding. Excuse the underwear on. This is a new bedding that I got when I was at the cancer research shop last weekend. It looked great. £3. Blimmin' bargain. And wait to see, we've been doing work in the garden. Look. New fences there. And we moved some stuff like here. I need to mow the lawn. But I just found a dead magpie behind that couch over there and I've just had to put it to bed. Oh, sad times. Anyway, and wait till I show you this. My lovely friend, you can see me, my lovely friend Paula, who did this image here, kindly sent me some new ones for her. Don't want to see me in it. Isn't that? And I got this frame in the same charity shop for £3. And this is another one to go alongside it, and wait till you see this one, which she's about to exhibit. Ho 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 ho. It's amazing, isn't it? So I'm keeping my eyes peeled for frames for them. And then down here, excuse my washing. Oh, Patty was in that bed, but I don't know where she's gone. Anyway, all my washing hanging out, oh, stuff to go in the attic. And here I am, looking like a pink runner with dirty hands from planting. Anyway, I'll catch you later. The doggos are enjoying the sun that is coming in, so I've moved their beanbag and Patty's bed there. Excuse the washing machine. But I have currently the sauce for my tofu tikka masala that I'm making tonight. So I'm making that. Saturday night feels like curry night. I do love a curry. Anyway, so this is me. Why do I always look tired? I'm going to stand at the light. Maybe I look better that way. It's so bright you can't see how tired I look. What was I going to talk to you about? Oh, the book I picked up at the library the other day. When was that? The other day? Yesterday. And I can't remember who's told me about this one. Sit down and tell me about it, because I actually don't know what it's about. I'm still holding the phone though. And so if you let me know about it in the comments, if you let me know about it and let me know. Oh, I had lots of little dry patches on my skin, so I've just like put Vaseline there now. You're sticking to it. Don't follow me for beauty regimes. Anyway, look, it's the Golden Girls Getaway. It's quite chonky, but I think it's because it's large print and I'm happy about that. It said, never forget the best is still to come. And it says, you're never too old for a new adventure. It's been a long year for the neighbours Vivian, Mary and Gwen, all ladies of a certain age. Their lockdown experience has left them feeling lonely. Things start to look up, however, when Gwen comes up with a plan to borrow a motorhome. In no time at all, the ladies are on the road, away from London, away from their worries. The British countryside never looked more beautiful as they travel from Stonehenge to Dartmoor to Devon to Cornish coast, Yorkshire moors. As their journey continues, and while the seaside views turn into glorious mountain and moors, Mary, Vivian and Gwen learn to smile again, to laugh again, and maybe even to love again. Now they can believe that the best is still to come. Ah, it just sounds fun. Also, look at the picture. So it is chunky, but literally look at the size. That's pretty much the size of the text that I have on my Kindle as well. So, oh, let me show you the garden. It's a work in progress, honestly. Someone give me the antidote for permanently looking tired. It's not this. To be fair, I've got nothing on my face, so I'm leaving this simmering. The other half's away out for snacks. I suspect there's not enough snacks in the house for him. Because it's Saturday night, we'll probably watch a movie. So hold on, I'll turn you around. So here we go. So I do need to mow, and I'm about to do some extra seeds over here, but I can't paint this for another sort of 4 weeks. We've put out all the slate here. I've got my egg chair. I'm gonna have to set fire to that soon. And I need to get back. This is going to be a big work in progress again because a lot of damage with the fence going down. But it's all coming together. Look at these two. I've managed to get my hose working again by getting a new, but these two, you see them? Lazy bones, little lazy bones. Anyway, let me give you, look, I have saplings coming up. Isn't that good? So I'm going to plant some more because I've got 2 trees here I'm going to plant just now. It's Sunday morning. Everybody's still sleeping apart from me and Patty Cakes. She's over there, and I've came downstairs to read in the sunshine. It is, oh, I'll put it this way. It is Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man. So this is book 2 and the Vera Wong. So the first one is, got it up there, Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. So basically, she's an elderly Chinese snooper, and she's just an absolute busybody, and I love her. She's got so much sass and audacity. So this comes out on the 10th of April, and I got a bookmark with it. So that's the other one. This is book 2, and you know, so she finds out, she kind of sticks her nose into a missing person case that then turns into the person has been murdered. And so she starts to, and then she discovers that they were a social media star influencer. So she starts to gather a lot of people who are lonely and need connection, brings them together. She starts to solve this crime, but she also gets involved in other people's lives. See if you love cozy mysteries, this is it. Her name's Vera Wong, and she often gets mistaken by her name, not sight, as Vera Wang, the fashion designer. So that sometimes gets her in places, and then they're like, who's this busybody old lady? She's a great cook. She owns a tea shop. She makes amazing Chinese food. She makes amazing tea, excuse me. And so, do you know what? It's just an absolute delight. And then here at the back, this will give you a nice Vera Wong's life achievement. Have Vera Wang's world famous tea house become very successful business. So she's named it Vera Wang. Outsmart useless police and solve crazy murder case. These are all ticked, by the way. Set up private investigator company. Tilly, find beautiful girlfriend and move out my house. Have many so she's ticked all of those. These ones she hasn't ticked. Have many grandbabies. Do more incredible crime solving. Become internet sensation. Live until age 110. Do you know what? See if you love a cozy mystery, check out Vera Wong, man. She's fun. And because she's a Chinese immigrant in America, there's always a kind of, there's the language, so English is our second language, and there's always a bit of a miscommunication in the way she says things. Honestly, it's fun. I'm really enjoying it. It's just super fun. So, oh, Patty's got her spot on the beanbag. Can you see her? She's got the light shining on. Oh, what way does my finger? That way. So I've just put my porridge on, and I'm about to have a cup of coffee. I'll read more of this today, and then I might take you out into the garden. So this afternoon, me and the other half are taking his mum and his nan out for lunch as a belated kind of Mother's Day. So we're doing that. I'll probably not video that because I don't think they'll want to be on camera, but I'll video around that. And then I might take my crochet square, which has got big because I don't know how to finish in the car. Might do a wee bit of that. And then last night we started watching the most recent Alien movie. Alien, can't remember the name. But we're all cozied up, like me, David and the two dogs, we're all cozied up on the couch. We had blankets and everything, so obviously we fell asleep. So we'll finish that tonight. I might need to do it while doing like cross stitching or something, because honestly I lie there, give me about 10-15 minutes and I'm guaranteed to fall asleep. Not because the movie's bad or what we're watching, it's because like it's prime cozy napping time. Anyway, I'll have to read more of this and I'll check in with you later. For a Sunday morning dog walk, there. And I'm currently listening to The Women by Kristin Hannah. It's my April, well actually next week I have book group. So this is the one we're discussing, and to be honest I'm really pleased my friend picked it, because I bought this, I pre-ordered it when it came out because I absolutely adore Kristin Hannah's books. This one's set during the Vietnam War, so we'll follow Frankie. She's a nurse who, after her brother has gone to Vietnam, she decides she wants to do the same and to do her bit. So we're currently, reading about her in Vietnam and the kind of culture shock of being a nurse there and just everything that's happening. So far, in true Kristin Hannah style, she's writing amazing female characters. There's obviously the war itself, but also how women are being treated by also American soldiers. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you've read this one. I will literally buy every Kristin Hannah book she writes and read them. I've still got a wee bit of a back catalogue, but this is the most recent one of hers, which is actually now out in paperback, so you can get that. And I'll keep you posted on my thoughts. But here I'm enjoying, there is a colder breeze, but I am really enjoying the sunshine. And look, next to a tree, and look at the buds. The buds are coming out. Ah, it makes me so happy. So we had a really nice lunch with David's nan and mum. I didn't take any video, but you saw a bit of video we were going in. It was like a country club. It was very posh. Had a nice salad, which was lovely. So now I am sitting outside reading for the first time in 2025. The sun is just going down. This is over here. Patty's going in the side. Wait till I show you the OH. If you can see him through the sunlight. He's sitting there on his phone. The fire pit's going. The neighbours next door are having a birthday party for their son. And it's all quiet. Look at the sun coming in. Look. I've got shoots coming and all the moisture in my greenhouse is looking good. And Lucy, she's sleepy. Look at her wee face. So I'm just reading more of Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man. Oh, it's just cosy. See, if you love a cosy mystery, you need to check this out. Comes out on the 10th of April. If you haven't though, read Unsolicited Advice. Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers first. because this is kind of follow on. But oh, it's exactly what I need. It's Monday oh, it's the first I've spoken. It's Monday morning. If you can hear a noise, I've put the washing machine on and had a lovely evening last night. So read a bit outside, and then we had leftovers for dinner, and then we finished watching a movie that we started on Saturday night, which was Alien Romulus. Woof! Yeah, I love alien movies, but that's the first time I've seen that one, and I did not expect it to be that dark and horrific. That was anxiety inducing. So I was watching it and then doing some of my reading trackers on Canva. So I was not fully distracted, but I was able to like. But if you love the alien movies and you haven't seen that yet, definitely check it out. But wow, there's a lot going on in that movie. I feel like I need some cosy films to counterbalance that. We're talking cosy. 3/4 through Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man, and I think I'm going to sit with my mug of coffee and finish it this morning. I like to party, and by party I mean read books. Definitely. So I think I'm going to finish that this morning, and then today I am going to record Wednesday's video. I think I'm going to got some notes. I think I'm going to do new spring book releases, so if you haven't watched that yet, I'll put it here, wherever it goes. And excuse me, oh, I've been awake since like 5:45. That's me. I'm like Vera Wong in this book. She always wakes up at 4:30. Thankfully I don't wake up at 4:30. And might do some more audio of The Women by Kristin Hannah. I've actually got the hardback, but I'm reading that for book group this week, and I'm really enjoying it. Kristin Hannah just writes such amazing women characters and story, you know, like historical fiction. She's just really good at it. I think the only thing that I'm not loving so much about it, because like I loved Four Winds and Great Alone. Of the Kristin Hannah books I've read are my favourite so far. This one I'm really enjoying. I think sometimes, and to be fair, it would be weird if the character wasn't going through this, because she's a young nurse in Vietnam, a young American nurse in Vietnam, and it's just the intermittent love interests, which in most instances, because of the scenario, aren't, you know, don't progress far. That's not a huge spoiler. Well, maybe they do, because I don't know, I'm only a third in. Sometimes I find that a bit of a distraction. It's like, why do they need to have a love interest? But that's a me thing, as opposed to anything wrong with the book, because I think literally that would happen because you're in a war in thousands of miles away from home, and you're needing companionship, you know. But anyway, that's just a wee thing from me. And oh, I'm going to start, wait to see, this is one of the things I was doing a reading tracker for. The complete opposite of cosy is The Girl Next Door by Ketchum. It says on the blurb, so this was one of the books that I picked out of my TBR box from my shelves. I've had it on my shelf for ages. It's a really dark, I say thriller, right, but it's actually based on a true crime story. It's blurbed at the front and says the girl next door is alive, and the girl next door is alive. It does not just promise terror, it actually delivers it. And I've heard a load of people have been really disturbed by this book, which weirdly makes me intrigued to read it, but I'm also kind of terrified. It says, a teenage girl is held captive and brutally tortured by neighbourhood children. Based on a true story, this shocking novel reveals the depravity of which we are all capable. I'm actually buddy reading this with two friends because I think we might need the moral support. And now you might be like, why are you reading a book like that? And because in the same way that I love horror movies, sometimes I like to make myself, it's a good way of dealing with anxiety in a safe space, because it's within a book or within a movie, and it doesn't mean it doesn't live in your brain afterwards. But and I think the confusing thing, not confusing, I think the disturbing thing about this is it is actually based on a true story. So keep me posted. This will probably go between this and next weekend's reading vlog, because I'm starting it today. And there's a couple of quotes in the back, and one says, "Realism is what makes this novel so terrifying. The monsters are human and all the more horrifying for it." See, that's what I find more terrifying about horror movies. So like, take the film, which I do love in its own way, right, but take the film, if you've ever seen it, Jeepers Creepers. Spoiler alert if you've not seen it, right, but it's when the monster, the scary thing, big scary thing that everybody's scared of, is actually like not a real human. And I feel like, apart from Alien, right, that's pretty terrifying, probably could happen, says me, never been in space. But like, to think that, whatever your beliefs, right, to think that we are the only living beings in the universe, I think would be a bit, I don't think so. But anyway, that's by the by. I digress. What was I saying? Yeah, so when the horrific thing or the horrible thing or the terrifying thing is like a made-up human or some sort of weird monster thing, like in Jeepers Creepers, spoiler, if that had, seeing that film, if that had just been like a horrible weird guy like the family that are in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's way more terrifying to me. Like, what humans are capable of is utterly terrifying. You just need to put on the news. So, oh God, I feel like I'm talking to you and trying to mentally prepare myself for this. Why am I doing this to myself? The same reason I would probably pay money and go to the cinema to watch a terrifying movie, to, within a safe space and confined space, push my feelings, push those feelings that, of terror, fear, anxiety, and all those things that we naturally all have. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. But before I go anywhere near this, I am going to read some cosy crime, because that's what my head needs. And I've got my ambience on. Love my YouTube ambience when I'm reading. And I've got my porridge on, so off to do that just now, and yeah, I'll check in later. So I've got a couple of wee things to tell you about. Firstly, I finished Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man. I actually had pre-ordered the book coming out, which comes out, well, by the time you see this it'll be out, and this was book 1, book 2. Do you know what? I love spending time with Vera. She's an amazing sleuth, a nosy busybody, and actually at some point, and there's quite a lot of characters, I did at times get confused, but that's more me than the book. But I love how Vera just brings together like really lonely characters and gives them a sense of purpose. I love the social media influencer element, and very late on in the book the case gets a bit darker than I expected from a cosy mystery, but I think it was handled really well. I'm not going to say what it is, but bear that in mind. I mean, not dark in the dark thriller-esque way, but darker for a cosy mystery than I expected. But I really recommend. I really rated it and highly recommend. So it comes out on the 10th of April, which will have passed by the time you see this. Then I started an audio because I requested audio from the library. It's I Who Have Never Known Men. I've gone into this relatively blind, and all I know so far is it's been narrated by a woman, or a young woman. I'm not 100% sure of the age, and she seems to be in captivity with with a larger group of women, possibly older but unconfirmed. They don't really know the passing of time. They're being kept in cages and they're being monitored and being held captive by, I think it's 6 different men, like almost a rota, that are looking after them. I don't know where and when in time this is or what's happened in the world. And that's all I know so far, and I'm super intrigued. So hopefully I'll finish this by... The dogs are just enjoying the neighbours out in their garden. So I will update you in the next weekend reading vlog about this. Then I got 2 books in my horror subscription box. The latest Eric LaRocca, who writes weirdly wonderful horror, and this one's called At Dark I Become Loathsome. I don't know much about this one other than it says if you're reading this, you've likely thought that the world would be a better place without you. And it's a single line of text that glows in the darkness of the internet, written by Ashley, who has often thought that, and worse, in the years since his wife died and his young son disappeared. So he provides this space on the internet to try and help people who felt similar to him. Only through pain can we find healing, and only through death can we find life. So this is going to be weird and wonderful. I'm going to start reading it next week, I think, as a buddy read. Then there was this one, Scuttler's Cove by David Barnett. Never heard of it. And it says, a seaside idyll with a horror at its heart. And apparently it says there's Scuttler's Cove is a working village in Cornwall where life has gone uninterrupted for centuries until it was discovered by the rich. And so then it becomes gentrified and people are buying second homes, which prices out the locals from being able to buy in the area. Then when a previous resident returns for the first time in like 12 years after the death of their mother, they discover that forces are at play in the village that could never have been imagined. Something old and terrible is awakening beneath the town's hallowed ground, and with it comes horror that the residents have fought for generations to keep secret. It seems like a summer horror, just with the seaside town vibes. And then I have my Caterpillar cross stitch. So I get this every second month. I pay like a monthly fee, and every second month I get a full cross stitch kit from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This is not sponsored. I use it with my own money, but obviously if they were to give me anything gifted, I'd more than happily take that, and I'd be very transparent about it. But this I pay for, and it always comes with a bit of a theme. So it says, hello lovely, thank you for so much for supporting a small business, Sally and the Caterpillar team. Oh, so I've got a 6-inch 15cm hoop. I have a Jedi candy. Wonder if I can eat that. Yes I can. Lollipop. And there's always a wee accessory. I've got snippy snips, and look, I've got a summer. Now I can't show you the pattern, I'm just checking I'm not. And they come with a full kit, so all the threads you need and the Ada and everything. And look, it's a Coastal Peaks. Now that is summer vibes, isn't it? So I might get onto that after I've finished my bookmark, which my friend, it says journey to the seaside with this beautiful cross stitch kit. That is perfect. So you get that. There's always a sweet treat of some sort, and an accessory, and this one is scissors. Oh, the crafting joy that comes from cross stitch. And also, as I'm learning crochet, as you're on that journey with me, and I've only just discovered, late to the party, because she's got about nearly 2 million followers on YouTube, I've discovered Bella Coco. So her videos are a whole other level of helping me learn granny squares, and then moving my next step after doing one more granny square to make sure I'm getting it is to do like a giant granny square, aka some sort of blanket. So before I go to like loads of different granny squares and then creating a blanket, I want to do one blanket because I think that might be the next natural step. Says me. Anyway, that's a wee books update. I shall catch you up later with a wee bit of a summary of what I think I've got one book that I've finished that I need to speak to you about. And that's where we'll wrap up the vlog for the weekend. But I'll catch you later. Well friends, I promised to check back in and here I am, and I've got some books to talk to you about. I finished Vera Wong, as you know, recommend. And what else was I reading? I'm still reading I Who Have Never Known Men, so I've not got more of an update on that. Did I mention, I can't remember, that I was going into The Girl Next Door by Jack Ketchum. I've heard very mixed reviews. I've had people DM me when they've seen on my Instagram stories that I'm reading this going, I hated it, I had to DNF it, or this is a heartbreaking, unforgettable story. So I'm only 70 pages in, and I feel like it's told, the narration is almost through a young boy called David who's meeting two of the girls that are mentioned in this, and obviously in respect to the teenage girl that's been held captive and brutally tortured. I haven't got to the captivity or torture yet, so I will have an update on this. At the moment I feel an intense feeling of impending darkness coming, but I've not got there yet. So far, and I may regret saying this, I'm enjoying it. It's going to be dark, but I'm here for that, I think. To be continued. Wow, I've finally read and finished The Woman by Kristin Hannah, and that's because I've got it in my book group this week. And wow, Kristin Hannah is just auto-buy author for me. She's really good. This is up there. I still feel, for me, The Great Alone and Four Winds are up there, and this comes a close second with The Nightingale, which I don't think I've got yet. Oh no, I do, The Nightingale. This one is set during the Vietnam War. I know a bit about the Vietnam War just from watching documentaries, but most of those documentaries are based on the men who served during the Vietnam War and how atrocious that war was, and how the Vietnam vets were treated when they came back to the US, if they got back in any shape or form. And this follows a main character called Frankie, funnily enough. This seems to be the second recent book where I've had a main character called Frankie, and we follow her as she becomes a nurse and goes to war. Her experiences there, which, I mean, Kristin Hannah's descriptions of place and people and scenarios are just so immersive. Her descriptions of what was happening there, I mean, there's so much in this. It's pretty astounding, to be honest. Now, obviously, I think I read the author's note at the end, and she said something about having had this idea for this book in mind since like 1997, but didn't feel quite ready to write it. So this one, I got this as pre-order, and obviously have only just written it, but this one came out in 2024. And Frankie sees all the horrors of being a Vietnam nurse, and I think she does 2 tours. There are relationships with men, which when she's out there and when she comes back, that are quite complex. To be honest, I did say, I think earlier, that I could probably have dealt with not having romantic elements, but actually as I got through the book I realised how kind of necessary to the plot. I'm just not that, yeah, if you've watched any of my books, you know I'm not mega into kind of romance or anything, but it's not, I mean, it's a different level, and they're complicated, and she has different relationships in her life with both family, friends, kind of sisterhood, and different men in her life, and how she's then treated when she comes back from Nam, the shame that comes with being a Vietnam veteran, or even just the absolute denial that there were no women in Vietnam, which seems to be a recurring myth that she's told when she's dealing with what nowadays would be called PTSD. So much to unpack in this. I would say, if you like historical fiction and really well written stories about war and women's role in war and the physical and mental impact that that has, especially the Vietnam War, check this out. Wow, it's up there. Again, I've still got a bit of Kristin Hannah's back catalogue to read, so if you have read any, let me know, because I've read Firefly Lane, The Nightingale, Great Alone, still my favourite, The Great Alone was my first. Four Winds. I've got one called Wild there and I've not read that. So if you've read any others, let me know in the comments because I want to know what to read. And I'm just going to pick up, just as this weekend reading vlog finishes, I'm going to pick up Made for You by Jenna Satterthwaite. This comes out at the end of April and was gifted to me thanks to Verve Publishing, her indie publisher. And we follow Julia. Possibly she looks like this, I don't know, but in my head she will be. We follow Julia, who is a synth. She's been designed to take part in this kind of almost like the Bachelor type reality show called The Proposal. Her aim is to claim the heart of the MC of that show, who's called Josh. Then we move on later and she is married to Josh. They have a child, but she becomes the prime suspect when Josh disappears. That's all I know. That's all I want to know. And then, so I will tell you how I get on with this in next weekend's reading vlog. Next weekend's reading vlog, what have I got? I am at the theatre on Friday night going to see the ghost stories, which I got David for his birthday. So if I can get, sometimes they're a bit funny about filming in there, so if I get about that, I'll do that. And then hopefully if the weather is good, I'll do a bit more crochet time, because I've just watched Belle Coco. Is it Bella Coco? Just subscribed to her, as I mentioned, and she's got like an easy baby blanket to do, and a friend in work's going to become a gran. I thought, oh, that could be a challenge, so I'll see if I could maybe do that. I'm sure there's something else I've got on. Library visits, of course. I kind of want to try one or two libraries in my area, in my council area, that I've not really been to, so I might do that. And then, oh, how could I forget? On Monday, because I'm off on Monday, I am going to Edinburgh with friends. We're having a bookish day out. So that's the big thing that I was forgetting. And you'll be coming with me. So that's next weekend. So if you don't already, you want to make sure you don't miss that, please do subscribe. I hugely appreciate it. And if you've enjoyed this vlog, please let me know in the comments. Let me know what you're reading. Let's carry on the conversation in the comments. And if you don't know what to say, but would like to let me know you're here, please give me a smiley face emoji. And I will see you in another bookish video very, very soon. Cheerio!